Welcome to part two of our lesson on rates. So let's look at our number routine. How do you know that? Arnold spent $9 for 3 watermelons. What is the cost per watermelon? That's like for the cost for each watermelon, for every 1 watermelon. What if he bought 5 watermelon? So here is a table. You could use a table if that's what you choose. Maybe you don't want to use it, but I'm going to use a table. So this table is about cost and about the number of watermelon, WM. So it costs $9 for 3 watermelon. What if he bought, so first of all I said, what is the cost per watermelon? So if I had to break this down into 1 watermelon, I could divide by 3, but I'm going to do a scale factor of 1/3, which is the same thing as divide by 3. 9 times 1/3 is 9/3, or $3 for every 1 watermelon. So if he buys 2 watermelon, that's double the price times 2. So he'll pay $6 for 2 watermelon. As we could tell, 3 watermelon costs $9. What if he wants to buy 4 watermelon? So how do you turn 1 watermelon to 4 watermelon? You have to times it by 4. So 3 times 4 is $12 for 4 watermelon. What about he wants to buy 5 watermelon? So 1 watermelon to 5 watermelon times 5, that would be $15. That's one way you could do it. That is, what about this way? How do you turn 3 watermelons to 9 watermelon times 3? Or how do you turn a 9 to a 3? Divide by 3 or times 1/3. So 1 watermelon times 3 is $3. So you could do it this way. So we could do it within and between. So in this one, students will be doing the hoppity hop. How many hops can you do in 20 seconds? So on your mark, get set, go. What? You were able to do 15 hops? Okay. So the question is, how would you determine the number of hops per second? So this is about number of hops and number of seconds. You were able to do 15 hops in 20 seconds. But I want to determine how many hops can you do each second. Every second, 1 second. How are you going to break it down from 20 seconds to 1 second? You could say divide by 20. Do you know another way to say? What about times 1/20th? Times 1/20, the scale factor. So 15 times 1/20 is 15/20th. Divide by 5, it simplifies to 3/4, or 7/500th of a hop every second. That means you can't do an actual hop. You're like up in midstream, and it captures it. So it's 7/500 every second. How will you determine the number of hops per minute? Again, how many hops can you do in 20 seconds? So number of hops, I can do 15 hops in 20 seconds. But what is a minute? 1 minute, or 60 seconds. How can you build this from 20 seconds to 60 seconds? Times 3. So the scale factor is times 3. So 45 hops every minute, or 45 hops every second, or per minute. So our next thing is, Marjorie is at HEB. She bought 2.5 pounds of ground beef for $3.25. What is the cost per pound or each pound? Because when you go to HEB, no one really actually buys exactly 2 pounds. If you ever look at the label, it might say 2.02 pounds, 2.4 pounds. And when you go to the deli, always like say, I need some lunch meat. Can I have half a pound or 1 pound? Do they ever give me exactly a pound? No, they don't. I think they always give me more than I need. I think they do it as a ripoff. So what is this question asking you? It's about asking you the cost and pound. So it costs $3.25 for 2.5 pounds, or 2.5 pounds. How? I need to find a cost for every pound, 1 pound. How can I break it down from 2.5 to 1? I'm going to divide by 2.5 or times it by a scale factor of 1 over 2.5. So 3.25 times 1 over 2.5 would be this. Did we learn how to multiply decimal this year? Yes, we did. I don't know about you, but I don't like working with decimals. So what's power of 10 can I multiply by? Power of 10. So how can I turn this to a whole number? So you multiply by power of 10 or by 100. It's up to you. If I multiply by 10, just move the decimal 1 over. That's 25. This moves it 1 over. That's 32.5. So let's divide this. What is 32.5 divided by 25? How many 25 go into 32? One time. A remainder is 7. Bring down this 5. How many groups of 25 go into 75? 3 groups. So it costs $1.30 for every pound. So let's see if this is true. The first pound I buy costs $1.30. The second pound costs $1.30. That's $2.60. But then I get half of it. Half of $1.30 is 65 cents. $1.30 plus $1.30 plus 65 cents will be $3.25. Marcus is on a road trip. He drove 75 miles in 1 1/4 hours. How many miles did he drive per hour? So it's asking us about miles an hour. He drove 75 miles in. Do you know another way to say 1 1/4 in decimal form? In case you forgot, let's use a place value. How many 4s go in 100 times 25? 1 in 25 hundredths. So we want to find out how many in every hour, per hour, each hour. How can I turn 1.25 to a 1 whole? I could divide by 1.25, or I could multiply by a scale factor of times 1 over 1.25. So what is 75 times 1 over 1.25? It would be this. I don't know about you, but I do not like working with decimals, dividing by decimals. So I need what power of 10 should I multiply to make this into a whole number? By 100. In other words, I'm moving the decimal 2 over, and I move this decimal 2 over. So it's 7,500 over 125. Let's divide this. How many groups of 125 go into 750? 125. 125 is 250, 375, 500, 625, 750. I believe it goes in 6 times. It does. How many 125 go into 0? 0. So 60 miles every hour. Every hour you can go 60 miles. Let's check if this works. In the first hour, 60 miles. In the second hour, it's 1/4 of it. What's 1/4 of 60? That would be 15. 60 plus 15 is 75. So our last activity is rate. I'm not going to really go over this one because you will be doing it as a group for a grade. It's about, is there a doctor in the house? Jacob loves Dr. Pepper and is always looking for the best price. This week there were 3 grocery stores selling Dr. Pepper, which are listed below. Kroger's. Each 12-pack costs $3.60. H-E-B, 2 12-packs. So this 12-pack costs $3.60. 2 12-packs cost $6. So how much would each pack cost? $3. Buy 2 12-packs and get 2 for free. Sweet! And each 12-pack costs $4.80. $4.80. But these 2 are free. So if Jacob needed 48 cans, how much each pack sells? 12 cans. Which store would give him the best unit price for 48 cans? So he needs to buy 4 12-packs. And each 12-pack here costs $3.60, $3.60, $3.60, $3.60. Here, each 12-pack costs $3, $3, $3, $3, $3. Here, 4 of them cost $9.60. Which store would you get the best buy? And this is rate.